What's up, everybody? My name's Bryce, aka DubsNotSubs, and welcome back to another episode of the podcast arc. And as you can tell, things are a little bit different. And if you're not watching, I'm alone. I am solo at the moment. No hate to Boogie, but from now on, I will be doing this solo. He was very busy. He had stuff to do in his own personal life. No hate to Boogie, but as they say, the show must go on. So hopefully, I mean, this is on my channel, so I hope you guys are interested in what I have to say. But I'm still figuring out 100% what the future of this channel, or not the channel, this series is going to be like. But it's going to probably be mainly right now me focused, and then every now and then I'm going to bring guests on to do this with. Don't worry, I'm still going to be doing the manga news right here. I'm sorry for this coming out a little bit late. I had to figure out what I wanted to do, how I was going to think through all this. But this is all last week's news, and hopefully there's a little bit of stuff. I want to say there's too much. It was kind of there was a little bit of drama on something. We'll get into that later on. But overall, it was a decent news week. I don't think it was anything crazy. It's weird to say, like, there wasn't you kind of, like, at this point, I'm just digging for news and everywhere I could find it. A lot of this stuff is going to be on Twitter today. I didn't go find, like, extra websites. I usually try to go find, like, the websites that they're, or a lot of these things originate on the tweet, but I usually try to find a website for it so you get to see a little variety in the template format. But we're going to stick with the Twitter today. The Twitter. What am I, like 60? We're going to stick with Twitter today. So without further ado, let's get into our first story right here. And that is that Vertical and Kodansha, they have released where they are removing their manga from May and where they're going to move it to. So I will link in the description all this. I'm not going to say every single one of them, but here you can see a lot of these series right here that are all getting delayed, where they're going to go to, so, which is sad, but again, we all knew this was going to happen. There's nothing we could do about it. It's safer this way, and it's better for everyone, but Kodansha has, like, a ton of things moving, like, pretty far away. Sad to see it. It's going to be disappointing for everybody who collects print, and I'm really disappointed to see this kind of stuff, but there's not much we can do. I believe 7 Seas also has one, so if I can find the 7 Seas one, and also the Viz one, I will show you guys that, and I will also put that link in the description. But I just want to quickly cover this for follow-up from last week so you guys could actually see what, if you guys were buying series from May, where they're going to go, May/June, like this says, where they're going to go and what they're going to be like and what you're going to see. So also, right now, digital is going to be the way to go. They're still going to be releasing that on time. So if you want to get into your series, you don't want to fall behind, definitely go to digital, because that's going to be the only way you could read them. But yeah, like I said, sad. Hopefully, this is gonna go over soon. I mean, at a certain point, we all want this to be over. I mean, once it started, nobody really wanted this to start, but let's hope it gets over soon so we can all get back to reading manga and not have to worry about this kind of stuff anymore. But next up, we're gonna get onto our next series or topic, and that is that My Hero Academia sold 5 million copies in America, and that's absolutely amazing. This just proves that America is getting more and more acceptable with manga, and that's so cool. The more manga, the better. The more series that are going to come over here in English, the more indie stuff, the lesser known titles that publishers are going to be more likely to shoot for. Like, you see people like Kate and Books with that, Ryutaki-san, Shed Your Skin. I can't see anybody really doing that in, like, a while back. Something that niche of a kind of topic. Just seeing that, you got things like Viz Media, their original series, or Viz Originals, where they're going to allow people in America to do Japanese inspired manga. So any manga, they're going to bring that back. I know Tokyopop did that a while back, and I don't think Viz is as shady as them, because I think the whole problem with Tokyopop was that they weren't going to pay their artists enough for it, or they were, like, scamming their artists. There's a whole thing with that. And Tokyopop's also kind of, like, coming back with their stuff. They're trying to put back more series, so hopefully they're not doing that anymore, because I actually liked The Fox and the Tanuki. I'm going to come out with a review on that recently, but overall it was actually pretty good. It was very, like, it was definitely for a younger audience, but it was a very fluffy, kind of, like, it would feel good manga, and I really like to see where the story's going to go for it. But to get back on topic, Horikoshi, congratulations. This is absolutely, like I said, amazing for the American industry. Whatever, you're always going to have that front runner, and this makes sense because it does take a lot of inspiration from American superheroes, but with the decline of comics and the increase of manga, you kind of see where the comics bridge, you can see it kind of going down and almost kind of a bridge off into My Hero Academia, and then you can see a bridge going up into the world of manga, which it's a nice gateway for people who are more used to, like, Marvel, DC, you know, that kind of thing. It's a very good entry manga, and whatever you have to say about My Hero Academia, you have to give it the credit it deserves. It is a very, very good entry series. Things like One Piece, Naruto, Bleach, My Hero Academia, all are amazing entry volumes, and there's a reason they're popular. I know a lot of people like to hate on it because it's popular and say it's overrated, and I think the biggest problem is because these are all the people who are super into manga, and obviously, yes, there are series that are probably better than a lot of these, but you can also make a case to why these series are so great and are able to make a name for themselves and great in itself. So, but seeing how there's so many unique and different series that are more indie, My Hero Academia appeals to a very wide base of an audience. Like something like Goodnight Poon Poon isn't going to be for everybody. It's definitely a smaller audience who's more acceptable with dark content, adult themes, and more depressing of a series. Well, something like My Hero Academia is definitely more accessible for someone younger and someone older, and that's why they're able to bridge this gap and become so popular. And that's the big thing with Shonen, is that Shonen is able to take all ages into account and get all ages to buy from them. Mainly 18 to 24 is the biggest selling point for physical manga I'm talking about. But if we're talking about Shonen Jump, then it gets, I think it's also 18. I think it's probably the most popular. I don't know for sure. I mean, maybe for Shonen Jump, like, reading on the magazine has to be younger. And, like, I think I'm wrong about 18. It's got to be maybe, like, 15 as the average age for Shonen Jump readers. But overall, like, My Hero Academia is a fantastic series. It's such a good entry series. This is what got me back into manga. It got me back into anime, which eventually led me back into manga, because I watched the anime a while back, that and Assassination Classroom. Two fantastic series that got me back into it, and there's such a good entry point for people, and whatever you have to say, you have to say that it's a very good entry point. And to be honest, if you want more people reading manga, if they start with My Hero Academia, why shame them for it? Like, why? Who cares? They're starting to read. They're starting off somewhere. Everyone's going to start with something popular, right? I don't think anyone. Well, I can see that's kind of interesting to see how people start off with, because usually it's like their friend recommending them something. I would say for the most part of people getting into things is like, hey, I've been reading this, check this out. So to see like kind of like the wide variety of where people go into, like, but if you're trying to actively get somebody into manga, you'd want to pick something that's popular, that's very easily accessible. I don't think you'd want to go for something more niche. So if, like, I wanted to get one of my friends to do it, I'd try to get him to read, like, My Hero Academia. I'd get him to read Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, maybe, even though I haven't read Bleach, so I'd probably stay away from that. Or My Promised Neverland, if you want, they're into more darker series. Like, Shonen Jump is such a good area for people to start off with, and if that's where they start off with, more power to them. I hope they get to see the rest of the world of manga and see how amazing this entire universe is. But without further ado, let's get on to our next series right here, and that is the new Shonen Jump series, Moriking. And time to get my review on it. So it's not going to be good. There's a little bit of a spoiler alert. So right here is the synopsis, and that is: the king of insects will sweep you off your feet. You're going to larvae this manga. And if me reading that and you giggled, or you laughed, or you enjoyed that statement, then you will love this manga. But if you saw that and thought that was the cringiest thing in the world, and that sounded absolutely stupid, you are going to hate this manga like I do. Oh my god, Maury King is so bad in my opinion. It definitely appeals to that very, very younger side of Shonen Jump, or Shonen manga in general, that definitely younger demographic. It is about a series about this dude right here in the middle. I don't remember their names because they're so forgettable. He is a stag beetle, right? So this kid on the right raises him, and what ends up happening is that as he's raising him, when the stag beetle turns into an adult, for some reason he turns into a humanoid form that has not been explained and makes absolutely no sense, because this is not supposed to be, I didn't know it was supernatural in any way, but you know, you gotta have your gimmick. So basically he is supposed to become the king of insects, and him becoming a human is a trial from the first chapter. That is the synopsis of this series. And the one on the left, the girl right there, is the blue-haired kid's brother. So she is kind of wanting to find love, and she's generic, like, sister, like, ooh, I like love, well, I find love, and then he shows up, and she's like, oh, is it him? And, like, horoscopes say that it's her. It's very, very stupid. The comedy in here is very, very, like, young kid gag humor. It's very kiddish. It is not enjoyable at all for me, and I think a lot of people will find it very tedious very, very quickly. I can't even see this thing getting into the next round. This is going to probably get canceled really fast, unless the power of the little kids can carry this through. I don't see this series continuing at all. This is a very tedious, not good at all manga. The jokes really fall flat. The younger age really alienates a lot of the Shonen Jump audience. The art's okay. The characters are annoying. They're, like, naive in a way that I get for the kid, but for all the other ones are, like, really stupid. The premise is not something that hooked me. It sounded very it just wasn't something that could pull me in and keep my attention. The Stag Beetle King thing was, I'm not into stag beetles. I don't care about insects. This whole premise of the story lost me right away. It was I felt, I took everything in me to get through the first chapter of Maury King. I'm not going to continue reading this. I don't think this is going to last long in the series. I hope Bone Collector and then Ghost Paradox, I believe, is the other one, do a lot better. But this one ain't it, Chief. I'm telling you that right now. If you enjoy it, I mean, I don't know how, but I hope you, and I hope you continue to enjoy it. I can't get into this series, and I don't see it lasting long at all. But the big problem with this is that Shonen Jump, as many of you guys know, that a lot of series are ending. You have Haikyuu in its third set, and I believe that's this final set, or I mean not the final set, the final arc of the series. And then we have Promised Neverland ending soon. We have Demon Slayer ending soon. We have Yuna in the Haunted Hot Springs, which is not in English on the Shonen Jump app, but it's on the Japanese one. You can get the volumes in English, but it is not coming out weekly, I don't think. It might be on the website, I'm not exactly sure. But Yuna in the Haunted Hot Springs is ending soon, from what I know. One Piece can't have too many more years in it, but who knows? Then you have I said Haikyuu. I'm missing one. Dr. Stone is also ending it soon. So you have like 5-6 series that are going to end fairly recently. So you have to give something to build up and keep that audience. So what do you have right now that could possibly do that? You could see a little bit of that in Undead Luck. Chainsaw Man definitely is popular right now, but definitely for an older audience. I don't think it's not for an everybody kind of thing like One Piece is. It's not going to fill in that gap for One Piece, Haikyuu. It might fill in that gap for Promised Neverland, but I still don't see it because it's definitely darker and not as, I don't think, as accessible as Promised Neverland is. But then you have things like, what else is there that is coming out? Well, Mitama Security Service, Ghost Security, fantastic series. Here, let me go into the Shonen Jump thing actually right now so we can see the series so I don't misquote anything or say the series wrong. And We Never Learn, I heard, was maybe, I don't know if this one's still going strong or not. So Black Clover is going to really take a big, have to really step up. Act Age is doing pretty well. We have things like, Mitama Security, Spirit Busters. This is what I was talking about. This one's doing pretty decent from what I know. It's a gag series, but it's doing very well for a gag series, and I hope this one continues. I really, really enjoy Mitama Spirit Busters. I think this one, unlike Moriking, is definitely a series that everyone can enjoy from younger to older. It's one of the things that does the comedy right, in the sense of there's things that older people are like, older audiences can get and younger audiences won't lose anything in it. It's definitely more accessible for a wider range of audiences, and the tediousness that I thought it was going to get into with the whole security, like this dude right here, Mitama, being afraid of ghosts, it really hasn't gotten tedious. It stayed really funny and really fresh. I'm really enjoying where it's going. Then you have things like Mission Yozuka Family, which is weird because this series took a really big turn in the story. I wonder if it was on the edge of cancellation and it came back, or if it's going to get canceled soon. But the problem with Yozakura's Family is that there was at one point an arc where it definitely took more a serious side to it, and then after the arc ended, it kind of took a comedy aspect to what they're doing, and like these one shots every time and just short stories each chapter instead of a connecting story like there was in the earlier sections, which I don't want to get into as the spoilers, which was a pretty decent part of the story. But I wonder if people weren't enjoying it and if it dropped in the TLC, so they try to switch it up into this, and this is doing better now. I don't exactly know if maybe the artist or the manga is trying to still figure out what they want to do next in the story. But there was a weird shift in the story where I was enjoying it more when it got serious, but it definitely took away from that serious side, and I can't see it. I don't know how it's gonna continue like this. I do think it's doing better than Guardian of the Witch, Guardian of the Witch is doing, I also believe, okay. I'm not sure exactly how long this was gonna do. This just feels like a Black Clover and Demon Slayer clone, and like a little bit of Attack on Titans in between. It's not 100% unique, but it kind of has a uniqueness to it. The art's pretty good, and the story is pretty generic in the sense of dude protects girl to save her from curse. That's the story. It's okay. I don't know how it's going to continue strong. Unluck, on the other hand, takes a little bit more ecchi, kind of like that older style Shonen Jump kind of stuff, early 2000s, 2004, 2010 kind of thing. I don't know exactly which year, but you guys know, like the older Shonen Jump stuff that definitely took a more ecchi looked into things, more pervy side of stuff. Undead Unluck definitely takes a look into that and capitalizes on that kind of thing. And with the absence of that throughout these other new series, it definitely makes a name for itself. And I can see this one actually going longer, and it does, I believe, is doing better in the TOC. I don't think the sales are doing like crazy well. I don't exactly know, but Undead Unluck is one of the better series out of this new lineup. I do think this one is going to be longer than the rest of the series. I could see this going on for a while. I do like the premise of it. It seemed like, hey, we're going to have to switch it up, which they definitely did, and I like the switch up, and I like where it's going, and the interesting elements of the characters that they've brought in so far is definitely keeping me interested in that. And then we have things like Mashley, which is kind of another big thing that's going on right now. If the story wasn't funny, and if the characters weren't as entertaining as they were, the stories would get dropped because the art is not good in the slightest. It is below average, and if you disagree with me, you're wrong. This art is very plain and is not the best, but the characters and the story is what carries it, and it's absolutely fantastic in that aspect, and it's very, very good. So, is there any other series? I'm trying to think, was there anyone that I missed spectacularly? Well, Spy X Family is doing really well right now, but yeah, that's pretty much all the ones I really wanted to talk about. What I was basically bringing up in conclusion was they're gonna have to figure something out. They're gonna have to get some big series right now. Chainsaw Man, Undead Luck. I think Mitama, I wouldn't say Mitama is gonna be the next big thing, but I think it will stay in the Shonen Jump lineup for a while because I do think it is doing pretty well from what I know from the TOCs. And it's gonna need some big stuff. You have nothing to cover up. Then again, Demon Slayer was on the verge of canceling before the anime came out, but that shows the power of anime, and I liked Demon Slayer when it was coming out. Even before the anime came out, I was reading it, and I was enjoying the series. So I'm happy that it's continuing, and hopefully it gets a nice ending to it. One Piece, obviously, almost to 1,000 chapters. I don't know how long it's going to go. Oh, Jujutsu Kaisen, that's another one that I missed. This one's going to have an anime, so depending on how the anime is going to go, I believe Mappa's doing it, and Mappa's fantastic at doing their stuff. I'm going to check out the anime to see if I like the manga, and if I like the anime, I might go to the manga. This is going to be something that's going to have to fill in the gap for one of these series once the other ones end. So this is going to have to step up. Black Clover is doing really well. It's pretty good. It's really good. I really like it. But overall, we're going to have to figure some stuff out. With so many series ending, they're going to need something else. They're probably going to force some of these series to drag on longer than they should, and it's going to fall off. The story's going to really fall off towards the end for some of these, which is going to be really sad if they're going to do that. But I wish nothing but the best for Shonen Jump. I hope we get some good stuff. I hope Bone Collector and I hope Ghost Paradox are much better than Maury King. Not good in the slightest. But anyway, we're going to get next up into this series right here called Maggio Minar wo Sakatsite, or Looking for Magical Doraemon. The anime film will be done by Toei Animation and released in fall 2020. So this series right here is about the three women in the shot right here, all doing different spots in transitioning to adulthood. Like, you have one of them going to school to become a teacher, you have another one in the workforce having some trouble in it, and then you have another one going part-time to college and school and in trouble and has kind of a bad boyfriend and it just shows these three people being together, helping go through their life and learning who they are, learning what their purpose is, finding happiness, and just powering through together. And it just seems like it's going to be a series that's going to really... I think it'll be good. I think it'll be really, really good. Doraemon is a magical series that Toei did a while back. I actually didn't know about that. I had to look it up. I was like, what is Doraemon? So I don't know how that's going to have an aspect into this, but this is going to be a slice of life series, or a slice of life movie from what I know. And it looks pretty good. I'm excited to see it in fall 2020. I love my slice of life series. I love series about growing up and just learning about who you are, especially in the stage that I'm at, which is growing up and learning who I am. And just to see, hopefully, that this will be done very well and have great care taken to it. I cannot wait to see more of this series. I hope that it is as well as my hopes are for it. I don't have fantastic, like impossibly high expectations for it, but I do have some hype for it. I'm excited to see how this will turn out and if it will turn out well. The series itself I like the premise of like these three people just friends trying to get through life, trying to figure out what they're doing, growing up in the way that they are. But Toei Animation is releasing this. I hope that this is good, and I'm excited to see where this is going to go. Fall 2020, can't wait for that. So without further ado, let's get on to our next one, and this is the little drama I was talking about. This person, Sean Gaffney, is a reviewer, and they did a manga review where this person right here, I think, yeah, Primitive Boyfriend by 7C. So they credit some people in here, and this person right here is the letterer, and she asks if you can credit the editor. So this is her response. She says, "Hi, I've been thinking about my response to this for a while. The Manga Bookshelf site as a whole credits just the credits the author and the company. I add magazine and original Japanese publisher to my own reviews because, well, I'm a nerd about such things." So this kind of sparked up a controversy whether letterers and retouchers, cover designers, and all of this deserve to have their names up on reviews. And this is one person's comment that I wanted to highlight. I'm going to bring back in later after I begin talking about this, but she says, "Letterers are important," which she's not wrong. "If you don't highlight the work they do, publishers will just release subpar trash. If you're going to go all the way to list the adapter, it's a smack in the face to the person who did every little tweaking in the end and makes it all flow, aka the letterer." So adapter, what do they mean by adapter? Like the person who translated? I don't know exactly what was inside the article, which I could check out right now actually. Oh crap. Wrong thing. So let's go into this and see. I want to know what exactly who she credited. Okay, by Yoshika, released in Japan by Hanasawa, serialized in Manga, released in North America by 7C, translated by Amanda Haley, adapted by David Lumdes. Okay, so I can get where she's coming from actually in this kind of sense where if you go through all the trouble of listing everybody else who's done it, why not include everybody at that point? It's just not even that much harder for work. But I think there's too much entitlement in this. I think the problem is that people think that letterers deserve to be in a review, and my problem with this is not they don't deserve to be credited, but I think that's what the back of the book is for. But I believe a reviewer's job is not to credit everybody who translates, everybody who does any little thing inside a book. I believe a reviewer's job is to tell you what the book is like and whether you should read it or not. I believe the reviewer's job is to tell you the contents of the book and not credit everybody who did everything around the book. And this might be a little bit of a controversial opinion, but I believe they do get their credit. I believe they get their fair credit in the back of the book. When someone reviews a movie, do they list every person who's in the movie? And obviously, there's a lot more people that goes into a movie, but at the same point, everybody in a movie gets credit in the credits in the movie that they're in. It is not a reviewer's job to go through and credit every person and every aspect that they're mentioning. It is not Sean Gaffney's job to go in and sorry, I jumped over my words and I jumbled them all up, but it's not his job to credit every person who does it. I mean, in reality, he doesn't have to even credit the author. I mean, it's not to say that he shouldn't, and I do think every person deserves to be credited in their way, but it's not his job to go, here's everybody who did it. It is a reviewer's job to go, here's what the book is about. This is the book. Here's what it's about. This is what I like about it. This is what I don't like about it. This is whether I recommend you guys should read it or not. I don't think his job is to credit everybody. I believe it's the publisher's job in the book to release everything or to credit everybody. So I have Gigant right here. Right with me. I'll open to the last page right here, and here's the credits right here. So, translation, Christine Dashnley, adaptation, Jamil Joseph Jr., lettering, Ray Steves, original cover design, Yohei Somatini, cover design, Nikki Lim, professor, proofreader, Christine Armada, editor, J.P. Sullivan, pre-press technician, Rihanna Rusamin Silverstein, production manager, Lisa Patilo, managing editor, Julie Davis, associate publisher, Adam Arno, publisher, Jason DeAngelis. Right there. There's everybody who was involved in there in the credit page, like they should be. They should get the credit, but I believe the credit is in the back of the book right there from where they're from where they're getting published and doing the work for. And I think the statement right here, even though she says, I believe with the second half, it's kind of like a slap in the face. If you're going to go through all the work of listing everybody else, why not finish at listing everybody? But to say that that publishers are going to release subpar trash if you don't credit the letterers makes absolutely zero sense. You have piracy so popular right now, and most people who read manga know that there's piracy out there to go to. They know that if they really want to and they want to have a cheaper option, they can go to piracy for it and get an accurate translation. So by saying that publishers are going to basically say, fuck it and just release whatever they just release trash is such a far out there statement, because guess what? If you start releasing trash, the people who are supporting the industry because they want to are going to be like, why am I paying for this? If you're not going to give it to the care that I feel that these series deserve, why am I going to pay for it? What's the point of it? I'm just going to go to the piracy, and I'm going to get a more accurate translation of people who take care enough to do it. And also to say that the letterers are just going to be like, whatever, I'm going to do whatever. They're not going to credit me in the review anyway. Why would I do the work? Makes absolutely no sense, because they're freelancers for the most part. And guess what? If you don't do a good job, you're out of there. You can find another freelancer anyway, someone who could translate manga or someone who could do lettering and stuff like that. People are replaceable. By saying that they're going to just release trash right now is absolutely a preposterous statement. It is absolutely insane to think that not crediting a letterer is going to cause the whole industry to start publishing crap. It doesn't make any sense for a business perspective, from a letterer's perspective, and honestly, just without going too far off into that topic, it doesn't make any sense, and I think that's a false statement from the base, that to say that letterers are going to just start releasing crap if they don't get credits in reviews. And at the end of the day, it's not a reviewer's job to even tell you who did it. It's I recommend this. I try to do it in every volume that I read. Go to the end, read the credits, read who did it. There's your credits. There is the person who did it, and that's the credit they deserve in the back of the book and the work that they did. It is not the reviewer, and I'm kind of rambling and running in circles here, but I'll just end it on this. It is not the reviewer's job to give the letterers credit, although, I'm not saying that they don't deserve credit. They 100% do. A reviewer's job at the end of the day is to tell you what's good about the book, what's good about the art, whether you should buy it, and that's it. It is not their job to get into all the other extra stuff. That is the publisher's job, and it's something the publishers do, and they should do. But without further ado, let's get on to the next topic, which is something quick. Later this month, I just wrote it up here so I didn't forget, is 7 Seas licenses in April. They're going to, in the newsletter that was on their survey, they were talking about how they're going to have a new release. They're going to do a licensing thing on Twitter later this month, so I will do a news article after that about what's going to happen in that, or what they released. So I'm hopeful to see, hopefully, some good stuff. Hopefully Shadow House by Samoto. I say it every survey in there, and it's such an interesting series that I've read. It's a basic Shadow House by Samoto is basically about, in kind of this Renaissance kind of style house. There's these rich people called the Shadow Clan, or the Shadow Family, I believe. It's been a little bit since I've read it, but basically they are a clan of people who don't actually have faces or body. They're just made up of 100% shadows. And there are these things called dolls that the people in the mansion create, or the leader of the mansion creates, who are there to imitate their emotions. And basically, when they go around in life, they are to imitate what they're doing and give emotions to what they're saying to add context to them. So we get to follow a girl named, I believe, Mary, who is new to the house and has a person that they're learning to imitate, and they're growing up together and learning more about each other, and you get to learn more about what's going on inside this house. It has this really eerie vibe going out through the entire series. You get to see what a doll's purpose is, how they're supposed to act, and this whole interesting aspect of that whole thing. But overall, I really like this. I really like Shadow House, and I hope it gets released. Probably not, but hopefully. 7 Seas, I really hope they get some good stuff out this time. Excited. They usually put out some really nice stuff. Love 7 Seas. But without further ado, let's get on to our last topic. It's a little bit of a fun topic. Viz Media recently released this thing about what house do you want to live in. So there are 6 houses here, and I thought it would be kind of fake of me, or just kind of wrong of me to, look up these people. So I'm going completely off of knowledge that I have in my brain, my big brain right here. Let's see what house I would pick and why. So house 1, we have Naruto, Saitama, I don't know if I said that right, Shoko, Kyomi, Legoshi, and Yona. So this one would be kind of an interesting pick, because you have Naruto, who is it depends if we're going to talk about Naruto when he's Hokage or Naruto before he's Hokage, and what stage he's in. Let's say, if we're going to be in a house, let's go kind of teenage Naruto. So basically Shippuden Naruto, where he's a bit childish and kind of off the rails, high crack kind of a kid. And Saitama, emotionless dude who always ends up, I would never want to get in a fight with that dude in the house, because he'd literally kill me in one punch. And I don't know, living in a house with somebody who could physically destroy me with the flick of their finger would be very fun. And then you have Shoko Komi, and the problem with Shoko Komi, if she's from Komi Can't Communicate, if this is the right Komi, I don't know how this is going to work, because all she's going to do is look really attractive, and everyone's going to get really confused about her nervousness, and you're going to try to talk to her, she's going to run away and get really blushy, unless I'm going to be like Tadano, who can understand her, and then we can talk like that, and then we can be like real chill buddies. And then you have Legoshi, who is like a really nice dude, but really scary at heart. He's like just a good dude. I would love to live with Legoshi, actually. He just seems like a really nice person, like once you get to know him, just fun to hang out with. He's a little bit emotional, he's a little bit kind of a sensitive guy, but he's overall he can man up when he needs to, and he's kind of a good person. And then last up you have Yona, and we're talking about Yona from the Dawn. I've only read volume 1 of this, but so she's kind of like at the immature stage of like the betrayal. I haven't really known it, but she's a princess, so she's probably gonna have a princess complex. But then again, if we're gonna go by the sense of after getting betrayed, she's gonna have a very victim complex also, and like a very depressed look, and I might have to go overthrow a kingdom, and if I don't know if I'm emotionally ready for that in my life. But anyway, next up, House 2, we have Ichigo, I believe from Bleach, that's the Ichigo from there. Boruto, Inuyasha, Ranma Sataman, I believe that's from Ranma and a Half, and then Shinji Ikari, I don't know who Shinji is, but I would not want to live in this house. I didn't like Bleach. I mean, I watched a little bit of the anime. I might try it again just to give it an honest try. But when I first started Bleach, I wasn't a fan of it. Boruto, obnoxious. Inuyasha, the ultimate tsundere. My God, I'm gonna I'll hand him like a piece. I'll hand him like the salt when he asks for it, and like I'm gonna hear for like the next 3 hours about how he didn't appreciate it when he did. And I was like, dude, I don't care. I'm trying to play Apex and win. He'd get very annoying, and he'd also try to fight with you over everything, and which would be very tedious and very annoying very quickly. Don't know anything about Ranma, don't know anything about Shinji, but this house is definitely out from the beginning. So next up, House 3, we have Gon Fresh from Black Clover. We have Emma from The Promised Neverland, Asta from Black Clover, Uesigi, what is... when I just said Uesigi, it made me think of Uesigi Drop from Bunny Drop, but I don't think that's what that is, and I forgot who Uesigi was, and I knew until I just said that. And Yuji Itadori, I'm not sure who that is. I'm not sure who Uechi is. Yuji Itadori. I do know. I some of these people, if like I saw their face, I definitely know. But basically, I'm just gonna go off the top 3. Gon. Basically, right there is just I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna listen to this dude talk about his little sister all day, all the time. Super annoying. It would get really, really bad fast. Emma and Asta. I would love to hang out with both those people. Those two would be the only reason I would go to that house. But because of Gon and the fact that I don't know the other two, this house is gone. So next up for House Horror, I love doing podcasts because I don't edit these, and now I have that, and I think I slur my words a lot, especially when you go for this long. At a certain point, you just get tired of talking, you just start getting worn out, and you start slurring things at times. But anyway, House 4, we have Monkey D. Luffy, Tanjiro, Ken Kaneki, Utena, and Edward Elric. This is a front runner. This is gonna be pretty good. Elric, I really love Elric. Monkey, we'd always be going on adventures. We didn't know. We go to the gas station, and then all of a sudden we'd end up like in California the next time. It would be just because we wanted to go out exploring. Tanjiro's only problem was because he'd be like, "Oh, I love my sister also," but he's not to the level that Gon is. He's just kind of like admiring her. And it's not as upfront. He just seems like he's also a lot more tolerable than Gon. And then Ken Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul. I've seen the first season of Tokyo Ghoul. I liked him in the first half. He kind of turned into a douche at the end of the first season. So, I don't know if I want that dude in the house. I know nothing about Utena from, I believe, Utena Revolutionary Girl. I believe that's what that's from. And then, as I said, Elric, I do really like. So, for these first 4 people, I think I could do. I don't know enough about Utena to say anything about her. I'd like to get to know Ken. I want to know about, this dude's emo phase. He's, always going to be listening to My Chemical Romance, Ice Nine Kills, super emo shit all the time. But then House 5, we have Goku, Light Yagami, Yuki Cross, Kyoko Mogami, and Yusuke Urizumesi. I don't know enough about this one to even comment on, but Goku seems like a decent dude. Seems like a bit one of those people who are always up in your face, but you could say that about Asta and Monkey D. Luffy. At the same time, Light Yagami, I don't know if I want to, every time I do something, have to go through 30 steps of trying to open the drawer. So this house is also out. And then House 6, right here, we have Izuku Midoriya, Jotaro Kuji, Senku, Taken Sabara, and Kaguya Shinomiya. So this house is also on my running. I do like this house. I love Midoriya, My Hero Academia. Don't know enough about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure to say enough about that, but I like Senku. I mean, anytime I have a problem, this dude's gonna like invent something. I'd be like, dude, the toilet's not flushing, and then all of a sudden I'm gonna get like some super like decked out toilet that has 6,000 different gadgets on it, and it's gonna like help me poop for me. I'm not even gonna have to do the work of going to the bathroom anymore. And then you have Kaguya from Kaguya-sama Love and War. I mean, she's got boatloads of money. If we're in that house, we gotta be just like balling hard. You know what I mean? Like, have you seen like multi-billion dollar probably? This girl is balling out of her mind. If I can become friends with her, are you kidding me? Oh my god, I could like, I'm like, yo, Kaguya, can I borrow like a quick $100,000 real quick? I want to go buy a Lambo. She'd be like, whatever, man. I'll be like, I'll talk to your boy. I'll talk to your boy for you, and then I could be your wingman. Oh man, that'd be just kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie. So I do like this house. I don't know who Takane Sabara is, so I don't want to say anything about that. So house 2 and 5 are out. House 3 is also out. So it's between house 1, 4, and 6. Now let's see who I'm gonna like. This is a bit of a harder decision because I think House 1's gonna have to go. I like Naruto, Saitama, Shoko, Legoshi, and Yona, and it's actually the only house I know everybody from. But I really like Monkey D, Luffy, Tanjiro, and Edward for that, and I really love Izuku, Senko, and Kaguya. And based on those 3 people, I'm gonna have to go back between House 4 and House 6. Now, I can either be balling out of my mind, or I could be going on crazy adventures like a mofo. But at the same time, Senku can invent me. You can just go build a rocket ship and like Phineas and Ferb style, and we can go fly to the moon because we felt like it. But at the same time, you get really annoying with that whole sciencey stuff. But then again, I could be like his friend. I forgot his name, but his friend who's really not that smart, who he loves anyway, and he's like a really cool dude. This is actually a harder decision than what I think. Okay, let's go across. Izuku and Luffy. Luffy's better. Tanjiro and Jotaro. Don't know, so I'm going to compare it to Senku. Who's better? I would say Senku's better. But now we're going to go to Edward and Kaguya. I think I'd rather be friends with Edward. He may not be such of a baller, but I really like Edward. And also, on a personal level, he was one of the people who got me into manga. So, like, to live with that dude, live with, like, a hero, would be pretty cool. And he also seems like a very good person. And so, based on this, I think I was a 2-1 on House 4. So at the end of the day, we're gonna go find that One Piece, rescue Nezuko, and then what would be the best way to say anything about Full Metal Alchemist without spoiling it. Then again, it's been out for so long and everybody already knows the story for it. But go beat the 7 deadly sins and save our brother. Brave our brother and get our limbs back. We gotta go to House 4. House 4 is my winner for this. And with that, I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you guys see any news articles or you guys have anything you want me to discuss about in the next podcast. And if you guys have a guest you want me to bring on, let me know. I do hope you enjoyed this video, and I do hope you work with me more as this podcast goes on, and I grow with it and become better with what I do. But thank you guys so much for watching. I do always appreciate it. And as always, I will see you in another video.